Hey, Practicum students. I have a couple things I want to go over with you guys to look at the week and give you your goal for the week. So, for the fourth week of SWES, you guys are going to be working with Trinity Lutheran schools. It's Trinity Lutheran Oshkosh, Trinity Lutheran Menasha, and then St. John's from Berlin. So, it's actually three different schools that are all coming together for their field trip. So, they'll be coming out on Monday, and it looks like we're going to arrive at 8:30 a.m. on Monday. And it's a little bit different because we have the majors coming out on Monday. So Christine and Marie and Jesse, you will be teaching on Monday. You are just teaching the first two rounds of lessons, and because you have class at 3, we're going to make sure that here at 2:15 you guys do not have to leave that game break, and you'll get a chance to leave so you can go to class. Now we have an evening program that night that Jesse's leading, so I believe I put Jesse on as the driver for that week, for that day. Yeah, so Jesse, you're going to drive, and then you're actually going to drive to class, and then it's going to be a sedan that day, and then you'll drive back out for the evening program with Emily and Lindsay. So after class, which might mean that you may not get here till right about 5:30, but we'll make sure that you have equipment and everything prepared for your evening program of Stars and Stories, and they want to do a campfire. So a lot of driving for Jesse that day. On Tuesday, we're going to be seeing that group again, and we'll have Lindsay, Hope, and Amy coming out that day. It looks like Amy, I'm going to have you drive that day, so if you can drive everyone out and meet at 7:15 here, that'll give us time to set up their morning lessons. You may want to make note for Hope and Amy, you guys are both teaching GPS, and the students will have had Cooperative Compass the first day, so they're going to have some skills already in that, and this will just kind of be an extension of that, which will be cool for them. Now on Thursday, then we move. There's nothing on Wednesday, so Thursday we move back out to having the majors come back out to work with the J.F. Kennedy School. Majors, you all have 2 lesson preps due next week, so you'll see that for this day you're going to be doing a revised lesson prep. So make sure that you use that rubric form when you are setting up your doing your lesson prep for that week. You will also be in the morning. You can see they arrive at 9:45, so we'll arrive at 8:45, and you're going to do some group initiatives with them. You don't have to do a lesson prep for this, but what I ask is that you pick out probably like 4 or 5 different group initiatives that you feel comfortable leading, and you'll get a chance to work with that group in the morning, and then that'll be your first group for the afternoon, so you'll get to know them before you have your first lesson with them and before we switch out. Looks like we have Christine on that night for the evening program, and Marie and Jenica will be assisting. So the way I plan the driving that day is that in the morning there'll be 2 vehicles. Marie and Jesse will drive both of them out, and then Marie's vehicle will be able to stay for the evening program, and Jesse's can go home after we're done teaching after 4 and we do our wrap-up. And Christine will drive herself out to meet them for the evening program itself. So they're going to do the Stars and Stories and night hikes. So on D2L, Christine, Marie, and Jenica, you should kind of discuss, what night hike activities you're comfortable leading, and I would split them up into 3 groups for the night hikes as well. Then we're going to be working with them on Friday. Devin and Emily get a chance to teach them. We're going to be arriving out here at 7:15, so be ready for that. And looks like Emily's on Winter Lake Study, Devin's on snowshoeing, and then Jenica will be teaching the other 3rd lesson that they're doing that day. So we're going to wrap up with an Eco Jeopardy at the end of the day, which is a fun one. Jenica will lead that, and you guys can assist her with that. So you'll have fun with that activity. So we have a pretty busy week with lots of evening programs, lots of programs during the day. What else do I want to mention? Oh, your goal for the week. Your goal for the week is to incorporate some form of eurythmy into your lesson. Now this is something that I'm recently learning about now that I'm on the Tomorrow River Community Charter School Governance Board. That's a Waldorf-inspired school, and they do a lot of things with eurythmy, which is basically movement whenever they're teaching things. So what I want you to try to do is take your lesson and look for somewhere where you could teach a concept or some vocabulary and you put some movement into it. Now, we already actually do this with like Cooperative Compass because when you're teaching that lesson, we have the kids, walking, and when they're standing there, they're tapping their leg every time they're counting their paces, and that's just a gesture or a form of movement that is going to help them remember. So it's not just that you're teaching them something by explaining it, but you're giving them sort of a physical movement that's going to help them remember that concept. So for the other lessons, you need to think about, how you could do that. Maybe for GPS, it would be, you're talking about triangulation. Maybe they all have to make the sign of a triangle when you're talking about that. Maybe you come up with something when you're talking about the different parts of the teeth, some sort of movement that shows the difference between an herbivore, a carnivore, and omnivore. Or maybe you have, when you're talking about their basic needs, you're talking about something like they need food, or they need water, or they need shelter. So some sort of movement that is going to help them remember these concepts. Otherwise, if you have any questions, just let me know. Looking forward to the week. It's a great group of, mostly 5th and 6th graders on Thursday, Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, 5th and 6th graders, Thursday, Friday, 5th and 6th graders. So you get to work with them both. Should be a fun week. Look at their goals for the schools too. Make sure they incorporate it in your lesson prep, and let me know if you have any questions.